Hey everyone, welcome back to Skill School. I'm ScytherGreen from Server 73, and today we're taking a look at Absorb, a lifesteal skill that sounds exciting at first glance but lands in a pretty grounded place once you see how it behaves in real fights. Absorb lets your Immortal heal when their normal attacks land, and while that sounds like it could swing a battle, the effect is much more subtle. You'll see small bits of recovery here and there, nothing dramatic, but enough to stretch a frontline's health bar just a little further when things get scrappy. Let's take a closer look at what Absorb actually does. Absorb is a straightforward lifesteal skill. Every time your Immortal uses a normal attack, the game rolls a 55% chance for a heal. If it succeeds, your Immortal recovers a bit of health based on the damage they just dealt. At level 1, that heal is 30% of the damage from that normal attack. By level 8, it reaches 100%. The chance never changes as you level the skill. Only the amount healed gets bigger. Absorb only works on normal attacks. It doesn't trigger from skills, ultimates, or any other type of damage, so Immortals who attack quickly or hit multiple times get the most chances to benefit from it. Once equipped, it simply reacts to each normal attack as it happens. Now that you know how the skill works, let's talk about what it costs to actually build it. Absorb unlocks at level 27 in the Tower of Knowledge, and picking it up costs 8,000 soul crystals. After you unlock it, each upgrade becomes more expensive than the one before it, so the price climbs quite quickly as you level it up. You can see the full upgrade costs on screen, but the total to take Absorb from level 1 to level 8 is 122,720 soul crystals. If you're working with a tight soul crystal budget, it's worth looking at how much healing you're actually getting at each stage before you commit to maxing it out. Now that we've covered the cost, let's talk about who can actually make Absorb worth the slot. This isn't a skill that helps everyone. It works best on Immortals who rely heavily on normal attacks, either because they hit fast, hit often, or add extra hits through their ultimate. The more swings they make, the more chances Absorb has to trigger a heal. Hannibal is one of the clearest matches. His ultimate, Howling Blast, boosts his damage and adds cleave, which means every one of his normal attacks also strikes an extra nearby target for bonus damage. Absorb only heals from the main hit, not the cleave splash, but Hannibal still benefits because of Howling Blast's bonus damage on the initial target. If you're using his exclusive artifact, the ultimate becomes a permanent passive. That means the cleave effect is always active, as is the damage buff, and Hannibal stays in that high tempo rhythm from the start of the fight, giving Absorb even more chances to trigger. It's not a huge heal, but on a shieldman bruiser who likes trading hits up close, it adds a bit of staying power. Alexander's another Immortal who can make real use of Absorb. His whole kit is built around normal attacks. Eternal Conquest gives him a permanent boost to normal attack damage, and when the active portion kicks in, he gains a burst of attack speed, more damage, and full control immunity for 6 seconds. More attack speed means more hits. More hits means more chances for Absorb to fire. With his exclusive artifact, Alexander has those buffs running all the time. Constant bonus attack speed and boosted normal attack damage let him squeeze the most out of a lifesteal skill, because every part of his design encourages rapid, repeated strikes. Both Hannibal and Alexander create the right environment for Absorb to work. They don't rely on it, and it won't solve their survivability problems on its own, but if you want a small, sustained tool that fits naturally into their attack patterns, Absorb is one of the few skills that lines up with the way they fight. Moving on from the Immortal choices, the next step is figuring out which skills actually help Absorb do its job. Since Absorb only triggers from normal attacks, it performs best when you surround it with skills that either speed up those attacks or increase the damage they deal. That way, each heal has more chances to happen and restores more health when it does. Duel Master is the cleanest match for Absorb. It gives a large boost to your physical attack as soon as the battle starts, which means every normal hit lands harder. Because Absorb's healing is based on the damage of that hit, stronger basics translate directly into stronger healing. You also get immunity to wound, so your heals can't be blocked. It creates a steady loop where more damage feeds more healing. You can also pair Absorb with Wind Rage. Wind Rage adds extra normal attacks, and every additional swing is another chance for Absorb to trigger. The two skills don't interact directly, but the extra volume of hits can noticeably increase how often you see those small bursts of healing. Fighting Master is another option, but it works differently. Instead of boosting your healing, it reduces the amount of damage you take and gives you immunity to control. This helps you keep attacking without being interrupted or locked down, which indirectly supports Absorb by keeping your normal attack rhythm going. The downside is that it doesn't raise your damage, so your heals stay small. You can run Fighting Master, Duel Master, and Absorb together, but it's not ideal on every Immortal. If the Immortal doesn't naturally hit hard, stacking too many utility skills leaves them without enough damage to make Absorb's healing meaningful. This is especially true for Hannibal, since his cleave doesn't apply lifesteal. Absorb only works on the primary hit of a normal attack, so relying on cleave to carry your healing won't work. Overall, Absorb works best with skills that improve the strength or frequency of your normal attacks, boost the damage, add more swings, or protect your ability to attack, and Absorb becomes much more reliable. Without that support, the healing is too small to matter. To check whether Absorb is actually doing its job, all you need to do is open your battle report. The healing from Absorb shows up clearly as long as you look in the right place. Here is a simple example using Alexander with no skills equipped except Absorb. This keeps the report clean so you can see exactly what's happening. Start on the damage page. Look at his normal attack section. You'll see how many normal hits he made, how often they crit, and how much damage those hits dealt overall. In this example, he landed 18 normal attacks, and every point of damage here becomes the base value Absorb can heal from. Now switch to the healing page. Absorb appears on its own, showing how many times it triggered and how much total healing it produced. In this report, it activated 9 times and restored more than 1.2 million health. That matches the skill description perfectly, because Absorb only procs from normal attacks, and Alexander made 18 of them, half of those healed, which lines up with the 55% chance. If you ever want to confirm Absorb is working, use this same process. Check the normal attack damage and check the healing page. If you see Absorb listed with its activation count and total healing, the skill is functioning exactly as it should. Now that we've seen how Absorb behaves in practice, we can place it on the skill school tier list, and it lands firmly in D tier. Absorb does exactly what it promises. It triggers from normal attacks, it restores the right amount of health at each level, and it's easy to confirm in a battle report. The problem isn't that the skill fails. It's that the current meta gives you far better ways to survive and far stronger ways to spend your 3 skill slots. Teams today lean heavily on burst healing, control immunity, damage reduction from multiple sources, and aggressive pressure that wins fights before lifesteal can make any real difference. Compared to that, Absorb's small, single-target healing simply doesn't move the needle. It works, but it won't change an outcome, and it can't keep pace with what stronger builds expect from a carry. So while Absorb is functional, it doesn't have a meaningful place in the lineups that dominate right now. That limited impact is exactly why it sits in D tier. So that's Absorb. It works exactly the way the description says, and on the right Immortal, it can add a touch of extra sustain. But in the game where your 3 skill slots shape your entire win condition, Absorb just doesn't offer enough impact to compete with the options that define the meta. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a lineup where Absorb actually felt worth the slot? Do you think lifesteal has a place in the current pace of battles? Or is it something you'd only use while you're still building your account? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video and let me know which skill you want covered next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Norheim.